Hey everyone, welcome back into the channel. If you're new here, my name is Andrew, and along with my wife Jessica, we run an online reselling business named 5 Little Ducks Resale. We go to thrift stores and estate sales, garage sales, any place where we can pick up things for cheap, and then flip those items online for a profit on sites like eBay, Facebook, Mercari, and Poshmark. So Jess and I went out to a number of garage sales and estate sales today, and it kind of ties in perfectly with the theme of today's video. So even though today's video thumbnail indicated doom and gloom for our eBay sales, which granted they weren't great for this week, there's always a silver lining to be had, and I guess that's kind of the main topic of today's video. Not so much focus on the negative, but try to find the positive in all of this. And I know it's sometimes hard to do, especially when reselling is your bread and butter. Like if that's what you do to make a living for yourself and there aren't sales, it's obviously easy to get down. But we all know that sales are cyclical and sales will return. But of course, it's the dead of summer. People are out and about having fun. Garage sales, yes, there are some, but the stuff is not great, as you will see here in a moment. But I guess the topic is just to keep moving forward. So I won't get into a whole spiel about that. I'm going to quickly put up the graphic of our impressions. I know that eBay has had some sort of glitch, and this isn't the first time that I've run into it. But as you can see in our impressions graph here over the last couple of days, our impressions, you can see, have literally fallen off of a cliff. I know that I'm not the first person to discover this. I have seen other YouTubers present this. I'm not going to dwell on it a whole lot because I really don't know what the cause is. I'm sure eBay is doing some change on the back end, which is having an impact. Whether or not these impressions will come back, I don't know. But that's the reality. So if I was averaging, according to that graph, over 75,000 a day, and now I am hovering around the 50,000 or even less per day, so be it. I have no control over what eBay does, of course. So I'm going to try to make the most of what I can in this business. In other words, I'm going to find other ways to move the products. I obviously cross-post on other platforms, so not only eBay, but also Poshmark and Mercari, Facebook too. So there are always going to be other avenues to make sales. And in fact, interestingly enough, even though eBay this week wasn't great, I saw an uptick in the Mercari sales. So again, it's always an ebb and flow, it's a balance. It's, you know, things good, things bad, but they typically, well, hopefully, come up more positive in the end. So having said all that, let's dive into the haul section of this video so you can see what we found this weekend. Hey everyone, it's late Saturday afternoon and we just got back from a ton of garage sales and estate sales. So let me turn the camera around and first show you what we got at all of the garage sales. So here it is, the culmination of over 20 garage sales. One solitary Hallmark ornament for $1. But the day was not all lost, thankfully. We did end up going to some estate sales, and I think the yield there was just a little bit better. So all told, between our garage sale finds and our estate sale finds, we did a little better. We paid about $28. Not, some home runs today, except for maybe one at the end, which I'll talk about. But let's dive in and see what we got. So we picked up a few cameras, a Canon PowerShot and a Kodak EasyShare. The sticker price was $20 on each. However, it was a 75% off sale, so I only paid $5 each, which was good. Have to do some testing on the cameras to make sure that they work, but I know that the battery charger was in here, and there was a case that was in there as well, so hopefully that will increase the value a little bit. But I'll definitely do some testing this upcoming week before I list those. And I am a sucker for vintage electronics, as you can see by these cassette recorders. Haven't done any testing of these, but this is a full-size tape recorder here, and like an Emerson Walkman here. These were not marked at the sale, but the lady did say probably $15 for both, and so again, 75% off of those. These two stacks of books are Time Life books. These are the Mysteries of the Unknown series. And this is actually a good series to keep an eye out for if you can find a large number of them. I think there's close to maybe 30 of them in the set, and I found 13 at that estate sale, or one estate sale. And I think I paid, I think she said they were $3 each, but again, that was 75% off of that. So whatever that number is times 13, that's what I paid for those. So I actually found a couple of similar titles at a garage sale a couple of days back. Unfortunately, they were already duplicates of what I found here. So I'll either keep them on hand and make another listing or list them individually. Haven't really decided yet. But I know these do much better in larger lots than they do individually. Sometimes if maybe someone's looking for a replacement book, you might be able to list them individually, but they'll probably sit for a while. Over here was, of course, a Star Wars Return of the Jedi AT-ST vehicle. It is not in great condition. There's no figures. The kind of walking action doesn't seem to work great, but I did see sold comps for broken ones or ones that are as is for parts online. It was marked for, I paid $1, obviously, so 75% off. Couldn't pass that up for $1. The best of the best was this item here. This is a Microsoft Natural Keyboard Elite. This is an old ergonomic keyboard. It says works with USB and PS2. Wow. Well, obviously it's not new technology, but these older Microsoft keyboards can do well. Did a search while I was at the sale, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that scanning the UPC, this had a sold comp of $225, which was cool. I paid $250. As you can see, the sticker price was $10, and it's brand new sealed. It still has the plastic on it. So kind of a rare find. You normally don't find those still new in box. So that's going to be a good one, I think. I think there are 3 currently listed on eBay right now for around the $200 mark. So we'll see what I can get for that. So all in all, not too bad of a day towards the end. It started off extraordinarily slow, as you can see, but it didn't turn out too bad. So I guess that's kind of the topic of today's video, is trying not to focus on the negative aspects of the reselling business. You're going to have days where things don't sell, and you're going to have days where a lot of stuff sells. So with that, we'll dive into the what sold portion. Alrighty, so let's now dive into some what solds. We'll start with our eBay items. These are the items that have sold just this week out of our eBay store. And the first item up was this vintage Kraco stereo cassette adapter for 8-track tapes. And this sold for $12.99 plus shipping. Next up was this 4-inch Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog action figure. He sold for $9.99 plus shipping. Following that was another action figure. This was from Fortnite. This was Fortnite Blackheart, the Legendary Series 6-inch action figure. And he ended up selling for $6.99 plus shipping. The next item sold was from our Gina consignment sale. For those that you might be new to the channel, Gina is a family friend, and we consigned a whole ton of clothing with her, and this was part of her haul. These were the new with tags Athletic Works, size 18, 2-pack of shorts, both gray, green, and solid gray, and these sold for $7.99 plus shipping. Next up was this new with tags Disney's Lion King Broadway musical zippered VIP tote bag, which sold for $9.99 plus shipping. Up next was this New Era New York Yankees black snapback hat. This ended up selling for $9.99 plus shipping. And next up, another Gina item. This was the 365 Garanimals boys size 10 olive green drawstring cargo shorts, which sold for $3.99 plus shipping. And the next item was another consignment sale from our friend Larry. This was the vintage Cartoon Network Scooby-Doo hanging on for dear life 100% polyester necktie, and it sold for $9.99 plus shipping. Next up was this 10-inch Royal Canadian Mounted Police Sergeant Blackberry stuffed teddy bear with tags, and he ended up selling for $12.99 plus shipping. The next item was a long shot in my view. This was a Gina sale that I found deep within a bin, which I don't even think that she knew was there. This actually was a Nerf dart, It was a launching spoon from a Sonic Wacky Pack, still new in plastic, and someone paid $3.99 plus shipping. And getting on in the sales here, I knew sales were not as where they needed to have been this week, so I ended up sending out a bunch of offers, and someone jumped at these. These were new with tag leggings from the online legging store featuring Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, and these ended up selling on best offer for $11.95 plus shipping. And longtime viewers of the channel should remember the DVD anime sale that I featured a number of videos back. This is the sale that just keeps on giving. This was the new sealed Basilisk, the complete series, 3-disc anime set, which sold on best offer for $32.19 plus shipping. And the last eBay sale of this week was another Gina sale. This was the Wonder Nation Boys size 18 gray tough core stretch comfort waist shorts, which ended up selling for $3.99 plus shipping. So again, sales on eBay weren't great. Ended up sending out a bunch of offers. Those offers don't expire, I think, until tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get some other bites. But now jumping into our Mercari store, we'll kick it off with this item. This was a Manhattan Toy plush Stella Fella baby doll, which ended up selling for $11 plus shipping. Next up were these Lee shorts. They were lemon zest yellow, still new with tags, and they ended up selling for $18 plus shipping. This next item up was one of our probably oldest items that we had in our store, and it finally sold. This was a vintage Party Light Meadowbrook Farm barn votive holder, and it ended up going out the door for $9 plus shipping. Next up was this Thai Beanie Baby. It was donned in Mexico flags, and it had a Mexican flag for a nose, and he ended up selling for $5 plus shipping. Next up was this Disney Pirates of the Caribbean action figure. This was a little 1.5-inch figure. I put the words cake topper in the title. Don't know if that's what it's ultimately going to be used for, but sometimes those words help to sell these little tiny action figures. But he ended up selling for $3 plus shipping. Next up we had Dash. He was a 2003 Thomas & Friends wooden railroad engine, and he ended up selling for $13 plus shipping. And the last sale of Mercari was another Canadian mounting, plush actually. This was a moose this time. This was the RCMP moose. He was 8-inch tall, still with tags, and sold for $10 plus shipping. So just one really quick clarification, the sales that I went through on Mercari, there were actually more than that took place this week. These were just the ones that were completed. I always like to wait until sales are fully complete before I include them in the videos. Just an FYI. And last up, we'll go through our meager Poshmark sales this week. Poshmark was actually third in place. Sometimes Poshmark is second, sometimes Mercari is second. It just depends on the week. Like I said, things are always changing. So Poshmark didn't do as well this week as in prior weeks. But nonetheless, we did have a few sales. The first one was this vintage 2.5 quart Paul Revere copperware bottom whistling teapot, which sold for $28 plus shipping. Next up, we had this pair of Asics men's size 12 gel light black suede running shoes, which ended up selling for $36 plus shipping. And the final sale of Poshmark, like I said, not a lot of sales in Poshmark this week, were these Caramore men's size 13 Hot Rock Mid 3 Weatherlight Blue hiking boots. And these ended up selling for $33 plus shipping. Well, that's about all I had for today's video. I could sit here and dwell on the fact that we didn't find a whole lot of stuff at garage sales, or our sales weren't good this week. And yes, it does suck. I'm not gonna lie. But I think when you dwell on those items and dwell on the negativity, it continues to fester negativity. So again, what I'm gonna choose to focus on is being positive. I know that I have pending sales. I know that I have a lot of new things to list, and I'm gonna look forward to what this week will bring. So with that, I appreciate you watching. Thank you for coming back. If you liked today's video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.